Diesel is there to stay. We believe strongly, and our portfolio will continue to grow. We would like to be the last person out in this industry as far as diesel is concerned.
Had the honor and pleasure of associating with Ashok Leyland for the last 2 decades. They are the first and early movers or adopters of our 3D experience platform. So typically manufacturing has man, machine, method and material, the 4 M's of manufacturing, right? So the man machines may change a little bit here and there, but the methods evolve a lot.
When the things look to be complexity, the solution is always simple. And that is how all these kind of opportunities help come from the other stakeholders in terms of software assisted tools and also in terms of other infrastructure comes into picture.
Yeah, you are like asking a kid to play chess in front of Magnus Carlsen. he is the man. But I liked your middle game part, sir.
The Indian commercial vehicle industry stands at a crucial crossroads, shaping by evolving technologies and shifting market dynamics. As electrification, connectivity, and policy reforms are redefining the sector, industry leaders are navigating the new challenges while unlocking the new opportunities. In this episode of India Leadership Talk, we are joined by top industry leaders, Mr. Ganesh, who is the President and Chief Operating Officer of AshokLeyland, and Mr. Ravi, Pothukuchi, who is the Director in Manufacturing and Logistics, DassaultSystemes India, to understand the future of commercial vehicles in India, the changing landscape, technology adoption, and accelerating product development with modern manufacturing and digital transformation. From supply chain resilience to emerging fuel technologies, leaders will share insights on innovation, growth strategies, and evolving landscape of mobility. Welcome to India Leadership Talks. Now we have Mr. Ganesh and Mr. Ravi Pothukuchi from DassaultSystemes. Mr. Mani would like to understand from you that India is the now 4th largest commercial vehicle market. How do you see the new evolving landscape when we talk about new fuel options like hydrogen, EV, even LNG, and CNG is also taking place, and new form factors because of the last mile mobility? How do you see the overall landscape changing?
Well, actually, we are in the cusp of a wonderful time in the auto industry, especially in the commercial industry. With a whole lot of macroeconomic changes, regulatory norms changes, and also I call it as a technological tsunamis which has come across. I think we are in for a huge amount of changes, and we as a company, Ashok Leyland, being a pioneer for 76 years, are also geared up for all those activities together. First and foremost is the way business is being done. From a mere sell and move on to that kind of a business operations, now it's come on service during the entire lifespan of the entire vehicle comes into the picture. That's one of the biggest changes. And the second of course is the importance of the way how the industry itself is getting changed. And third and most important thing is last mile connectivity to that extent, and that's how we've got a whole lot of evolution of electric and all the other options coming up. And most importantly, and as a part of a technological evolvement, the tonnage and also higher horsepower is also going up. These are all the few important things which have already gone through areas. But if you just add on to something more in this direction, in terms of fuel options, like diesel is there to stay. We believe strongly, and our portfolio will continue to grow. We would like to be the last person out in this industry as far as diesel is concerned. Keeping that as a portfolio, because if you just see the number of tonnages is being moved per year, is close to 4.6 billion tons of every year as of now, to the 9.6 trillion by 2050. That's the huge numbers which is coming up. So the options of various fuel options also will continue to grow. So be it as hydrogen, ICE, or be it as this LNG, CNG, and most importantly electrification, and also a hydrogen fuel cell, whole lot of opportunities and options have to be evolved out. But also I've seen a very important changes in terms of digitally how people are accepting it, the customers per se, and also how the companies also evolved over time. So for the last 1 decade, we also put in it, whether it is an upstream or a downstream, we have worked extensively, connecting to the customers, also to connecting to the, all the other stakeholders also. Couple of examples like iAlert is one of the areas where more than 150,000 vehicles are running. We are able to connect it through them, and this is also being very useful for fleet owners and operators. And also it's been extremely popular amongst the way how people also keep watch of how the things have been working across. One such example. The other area is called a Service Mandi, which we call it as more than 200,000 drivers are connected, service stations are connected, so that customers never feeling that they are out of their places. India having a multiple terrains of places of operation. So these things keep on evolving over a period of time. I can always keep extending to that. Similarly, the way how we are connecting with the vendors, how we actually from a drawing board till the level of vehicle coming across with as I said, when you talk about a tsunami, you need to also get prepared in terms of moving towards in these directions. So it's fairly an exciting period to watchful of, and we are absolutely get up to
so the
match that.
Complexity is changing, and it's changing very rapidly with the technological advancements.
Absolutely.
Ravi would like to understand from you, we coming from the technology company, you need to gauge these kind of demands much earlier what OEMs anticipate. How do you have to be one step ahead. How do you see that? Mr. Ganesh, when you talk about the technology tsunami, so what's your view on the changing landscape?
Thank you, Deepanshu. First of all, big thanks to you for giving me this opportunity to sit next to my guru. I call him my guru because I have had the pleasure of interacting with him in the last few years, and I learned a lot about automotive industry through my interactions with him. So thank you, sir, for also allowing me to be next to you and sharing the dais with you. First of all, I think he touched upon two important aspects. The one, the evolution of the truck itself, the vehicle itself, with alternative fuels, alternative powertrains, and then the wherewithal of so many aspects that go by with it, right, with these changes. So that's one thing. The second thing he spoke about is the evolving business models. That means gone are the days when you just sell the truck and then service it later. Probably we are talking about pay-per-use models. These are the models that are evolving, where the buyers will now pay for the trucks not as a one-time payment, but probably per use, per hour, we don't know if it will get to per seconds. So in these two areas, technology, what used to be an enabler many years ago, has become very pervasive and has touched all the things. So I'll cover these two aspects. And he spoke very nicely about technological tsunami, right? The first thing is on the vehicle part. When the vehicles have evolved from being traditional powertrains to the electric vehicles and the hydrogen fuel powered vehicles and all of that, there is a lot that goes behind adjusting the vehicle architecture to these new powering systems. Okay, it could be battery system if it is electric vehicle. It could be hydrogen fuel powered, means you should have an electrolyzer to power this and all of it. So how well the OEMs are able to integrate their vehicle body and the vehicle architecture without compromising the vehicle dynamics and so many things that go with it, its tonnage, its load carrying capacity, but still achieve the efficiencies with these new fuel alternatives, right? And that's where technology plays a significant role. What we are doing at DassaultSystemes is, by the way, we have been working with, we have had the honor and pleasure of associating with AshokLeyland for the last 2 decades. We started a journey where they have embraced our technology for the product development, product design and engineering. Then they are the first and early movers or adopters of our 3D experience platform, a platform that connects all the internal stakeholders, covering various functions, could be design, could be production, could be sourcing teams, bringing all of them together onto one platform, giving them a view of one source of truth. They are not referring to multiple models. So what we are doing with these very innovative companies that are defining the future of the commercial mobility is we are preparing the technology that is ready for their utilization. And what do I mean by that? We have ensured that the vehicle integration, which is an important aspect of bringing the chassis and the powertrain system together, and how effective it is to reduce the confusion that comes along with this any new technology that's coming in. So the requirements engineering, taking the requirements, understanding the battery chemistry, while in the case of Ashok Leyland, they may be buying the batteries, but in some places, if they are doing the backward integration, understanding the battery from the chemistry standpoint and what kind of impact or the efficiencies will it bring to the vehicle, okay? What kind of powering efficiency that it will bring, and what kind of load carrying capacities and tonnages of the commercial vehicles it can handle. So this vehicle integration of the body and the system, that's one topic. And the second thing is MBSE, model based systems engineering we talk about. When we don't see car as a vehicle anymore, it is multiple systems coming together. Okay? It is an electronic system because today it's electronically powered. It is a battery system which is powering the battery, or in case of traditional powertrain, and it is a vehicle, the structure itself, right? And you have so many things that come together, but we stopped seeing them as different components and are getting assembled together, but we have started to see them as multiple systems coming together. When multiple systems come together, it is not just the body that is coming together, it is also the behavior that is coming together. One system is giving a handshake to the other system. One system's output is becoming another system's input. How well you are able to integrate these systems together with a model-based systems engineering in a virtual world, validate all those possible scenarios. Do I have the right battery system? And is it able to deliver that right efficiencies or not? To be able to do all of that in the digital world, have multiple what-if scenarios, arrive at multiple alternatives, and then do a trade-off, okay, this is the best alternative I would like to go with. So this preparedness of to be able to quickly react and respond to the market evolutions is what we are empowering our OEMs and our customers with.
So, Mr. Mani, you validate these points which Mr. Ravi has pointed out. Ashok Leyland has around 9 manufacturing plants across India, around 7 cities, and then you have UK, UAE. How are you orchestrating the process, people, and everything? Because market demand is, he's talked about the evolution. How you are able to orchestrate and meet and deliver products at the right time?
Dassault has always been associated with the last 2 decades with this, and very specifically the recent experience of our 3DX, we were able to reduce our development time by at least 10 to 15% of time. And India being demographically so much of divided, and also in terms of requirements of the customers keeps going. The most important thing is the order of the day is to have each and every vehicle has got multiple opportunities. So you also know that we have a very important platform called Avatar, which we introduced during the BS6 time of introduction itself. Along with that gives an additional options of maneuvering the product, customizing it to the level of close to 500,000. So the reason why I say this, so when you have you have a varieties of models to offer with. B, there are even within the platform you have multiple customization possible. C, you have got multiple manufacturing facilities put together. So that tremendously increases to the power of multitude in terms of the complexities and we need to do. So any matured organization need to get prepared on that. So we always use it in a sequential manner. So when the things look to be complexity, the solution is always simple. And that is how all these kind of opportunities help come from the other stakeholders in terms of the software assisted tools, and also in terms of other infrastructure comes into picture. So the difference between the other countries and our countries is that now it's a product which will always be used in multiple options mode on that. It's a guy who drives on the road in the morning, probably can take it to the vehicle to the mining side or the off the road sides also. Even the other powered vehicle also need to manage that show. And having done that, so how all those 7 or 8 plans can actually made. All these plans of us over a period of time got evolved. So you have to make sure that all these products can actually go seamlessly down there. That's where our digital simulations comes into picture. We have digital mock-ups which are available, which can always pull back into a system, whether these models can be actually made out there very easily or not. That's number one. So having done that, so how you are able to connect it downstream. That's where the standardizations comes into picture. So that's where our own uniqueness comes into picture, wherein we have got a system called AshokLeyland production system, wherein it determines as to each and every product, each and every place, wherever it gets made, it is made as per the standard, as per the requirement of the customers going forward. Because we always believe in nearer to the customers rather than maybe having a product from here, you have to keep driving down all those areas. That's not the way it keeps working. And number two is the way how you digitally connect each and everything. That's how our digital twins come into picture. In terms of the entire layout streaming can actually come across, how things can actually work across with a different temperature stream of it. South being little hotter, north being little warmer and colder also, how we are able to connect these things together is very, very important in terms of our supply chain logistics also comes into picture. Third and fourth important point is that how these vehicles can actually be connected together. So we recently introduced a system called MPAS, which is Manufacturing Process Assurance System, which connects each and every vehicle parameters, close to 1500 of them, which is close to 500,000 data points gets captured, and that gets flowed into a common system and also a cloud. So at any point of time you can always recall that back and also understand and also start understanding how things can actually evolve across. So at the end of the day, things are being independently done, yet centrally you are able to manage it sitting in a common place, which is all the most important. That makes it very unique for us. That's what is one of the most important important things where customer also start liking in our direction.
Right. So we talked about digital simulation, how factories are getting connected, the complexities. Ravi would like to understand from how AI and IT can really help to gauge the demand fluctuations and the product complexities.
Now, first of all, the way Ganesh sir has articulated about this whole, the razzmatazz of the manufacturing shop floor, right? It is really, really impressive. But I would like to put it this way. See, demand is highly volatile. If there is anything that is not constrained, is demand, and if there is anything that's constrained, is supply, right? So these are the two. We call it as north and south pole of business. Demand is highly volatile. When I say volatile, it in terms of volume, in terms of variety, he mentioned about it, that there are so many terrains and so many north and south, and there are various kinds of variety orders that they get. So the variety is different. Volume varies based on seasons and the demand fluctuations, and the velocity with which you have to deliver. Some orders have to be prioritized and all of that. And how do we we look at from the technology standpoint is, I'll take it as from the production and then also a bit of aftermarket, which is something that he touched upon in the earlier bit as well. The production standpoint, once the design intent is captured, this is the kind of vehicle I was mentioning earlier, that you do the trade-offs, you identify various vehicle alternatives, right? You have alternatives, also called as vehicle variants or configurations. Once you have that, the real digital continuity, and more often than not we have observed that the design offices are highly digitally mature, but the same digital maturity is not seen downstream when it comes to shop floors. Not as much. It is coming now post-COVID, and last 10 years, there has been a phenomenal transformation of shop floors in India, right? Now, how we ensure the digital continuity from the design offices, the same model, because they keep changing. There are engineering changes, there are changes because of the orders. Those changes flow down to the shop floor, so that you are not building something, you are trying to build something, and by the time you are building it, the model has evolved, and you have ended up building something that's incorrect, which is material wastage, time wastage, a lot of cash flow issues and all of that. So ensuring the digital continuity so that the shop floor has the same visibility, same data model, same drawing, everything that's been approved by the design team in real time. I'm not even talking about near real time, right? This is what we are trying to establish. We are working with AshokLeyland and sir also on establishing this digital continuity. Digital continuity in moving the product intent to the shop floor. Then coming to the shop floor itself, he's talking about the new plants. The way new plants are being set up, earlier days the plant layouts are carried out by some, today we are talking about doing what if scenarios. What if I lay out, what if I put my finished goods inventory here? What if I put my ASRS here? So carrying out various plant layout simulations and scientifically arriving at the best plant layout that gives you best throughput and best production efficiencies is second step. Once you have done that, we have only handled the product intent and the plant, but the beast that we have not handled so far is the demand. Now I'm so impressed with what AshokLeyland, I've been interacting with him, so I have some insights to it, sir, if I may share, that what they are doing about how I insulate my shop floor from this varying demand, highly volatile demand. So that's what they're trying to accomplish, and they have come out with a very interesting strategy where we are looking at how we can partner with them. They are coming up with a replenishment strategy where they are creating buffers at the finished goods and semi-finished goods level, so that the shop floors are little bit insulated from the demand fluctuations and the demand dependencies. This is a fantastic strategy that they're working on, and we hope to partner with them on that by providing the digital layer around it. We are working, we have started the conversations with them on how the AI can predict what kind of parts are getting more often reordered, okay, and what kind of impacts because of these recalls or small part issues does that have on the warranty costs of Ashok Leyland. Is it putting a lot of strain on warranty costs? And to be able to, because we are doing the design, as I said earlier, the product design is done using our platform. So the entire product virtual twin is with us. So that gives us an ability to do this predictive analysis based on the telemetry data and tell them that these are the parts that are most often replaced. Give that feedback to engineering. Why is it happening so? There is something wrong about it, right? So to be able to give these predictive insights from the telemetric usage data and then close the loop back into design. That means you see this, a beautiful closed loop. The production is flowing, digital continuity is flowing to shop floor to usage. The usage feedback is getting plowed back into design. That means this is a fantastic closed loop of innovation where your products are getting improved with the real-time feedback.
So maybe perhaps just to add on something more, how industry gets evolved. So I see a very different approach towards this direction. When you have a player of not only in India and also international, what we need to have is some kind of a solution which is not like a fit and play. It's not a plug and play mechanism. We need to have whole lot of customization, actually availability also is concerned. That's how our vendor base comes into picture. We are also talking with our vendors as to how do we really implement all those things so that there's a clear-cut visibility towards between both of us. What we are actually wanting to make should also be visible to them. That's why using a theory of constraints model, keeping lesser focus on what is likely to happen in the demand, how can we actually prepare in advance so that they don't get into a trouble and so that you're also having your own space to manage. So that is where exactly we are imbibing a whole lot of digitalization into picture. The best part is about the visualizations, visual camera based, AI based, artificial intelligence based. So all these things, so there is a platform architecture available. You keep on adding all those things using your own innovative teams. So we are also developing 100 odd, the design engineers, we will call it as a, data scientists who are working on the shop floor. That's where all our engineers are not doing their hardcore job of probably a manufacturing. The next 3-4 years, they'll be actually involved only in digital projects itself. So I think they are going to be a backbone of connecting them along with the person who is sitting in, in the R&D center and the people who are sitting in quality center. There are people who are sitting in, watching the vehicle which are living. So connecting all these things together, not only in India, also in internationally, and that is what going to be the game changer going forward. And that's I believe will be
very insightful.
I love the anecdote,
direction. Ganesh would like to understand from you with the changing landscape in the fuel options, the energy metrics that is being changing, and in government policies are also it's not very consistent enough for OEMs like Ashok Leyland to actually strategize a path. But if we crystal gaze, and how do you see the future of trucking in India? And I'll come to you, Ravi, to understand the future of manufacturing for the trucking business.
Well, I mean, we are in the middle of a messy period right now. We are very clear about what we are going to go down to diesel. Maybe perhaps Euro 7 would come, and we should be prepared. And we and our vendor partners have started preparing the same. The first point is that when you go to an ice cream shop, and if you want the boy or a girl to be happy, you should have multiple variants available, readily taking from the box and giving it to you. So that perspective, we have hydrogen ready. We are the first company to install our own R&D center for hydrogen, and along with the storage of hydrogen, we have already tested our hydrogen fuel cell product just to establish the way how we made it. Along with the NTPC, it is actually being used in Leyland, which is 11,500 feet above the ground. And also we have a hydrogen ICE vehicle which is also made with our Reliance partners. They are also being used on those areas. Electrification is one of the biggest way, and we need to be prepared on that. So as per the government initiatives also, whether it is EPM drives or PLA schemes, or also multiple kind of opportunities available. Truck industry also gearing up on that. I think you also would know that I'm extremely delighted to share that our product in ICV and also in terms of heavy commercial, also in 55 tonners, we have already made more than 200 odd vehicles. We have already got all those vehicles are running on the line, on all the places it's been used on extensively on those direction, and our plans of electrification is keep continuing to increase, and our own company's Switch has already made 2,000 numbers of light commercial vehicles as well as the buses. The possibilities of numbers and the orders are much more in pipeline. We will continue to support this system of it. For that, what is going to happen in the backward integration, all those things are right now in place. It's a matter of, as the market keeps pulling, we'll continue to grow. And I also see a good future in terms of hydrogen ICE, wherein our own ecosystem is already ready. It's a matter of just conversion ourselves and becoming ready on that. So we continue to work in those directions.
Right. Ravi, would like to understand from you about the future of manufacturing of commercial vehicles, seeing the complexity of 1500 power of 3 and adding to the fuel options. How do you view that, and how digital technologies can really help, like AI and ML?
Yeah, you are like asking a kid to play chess in front of Magnus Carlsen. he is the man. But I liked your middle game part, sir. I know what he said is, if you play the middle game well, the end game becomes insignificant. I think Magnus Carlsen plays this chess. I think there is a lot of chess behind the way AL is led. Very nice strategy. But coming to this interesting question on future of manufacturing, what he said is very right about sometimes you have to be market ready. Okay, is market embracing the hydrogen fuel cell based vehicles? Maybe not at scale yet, right? But does that mean we have to wait and watch? No, he said that we have to be market ready. So is the case of with electric vehicles as well, electric buses and trucks, commercial vehicles. So is the case with LNG. Anyway, it's already been in use in terms of range. So he spoke about being market ready, and in that 1500 into to the power of 3, the nice math he said, right? So to be able to be market ready, we have to look at the manufacturing methods very little bit in terms of vehicle integration and all of that, and to have the flexible manufacturing systems, to be also bring that readiness not just at the design level and the concept level, but also have the trickle down into the manufacturing level. The manufacturing methods, so typically manufacturing has man, machine, method and material, the 4 M's of manufacturing, right? So the man machines may change a little bit here and there, but the methods evolve a lot. So what we are giving is that Control Z button to the OEM, so that they can put these methods, they can put these materials, validate. Okay, if I put this method, what's cost of the goods sold, or cost of manufacturing, and then be ready for this market takeoff, right? So that's how we are going to work with OEMs in preparing their shop floors future ready, or we call it as future proofing. Whether or not it takes off in the market is a second question, but to be ready at all levels, as he rightly said, is something, and that's where the digital technologies play a role, and we have ways and means of validating this virtually and keep everything ready, so that when the market takes off, they are ready to put it into practice and get into delivery mode.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And that was it. We have discussed all the manufacturing complexities and the future of trucking and commercial vehicles in India. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we discuss about supply chain and its disruption. Thank you so much.